you ever had a gut feeling that something just isn't right in your relationship? Maybe your partner's behavior has changed, or you've noticed subtle signs that make you question their loyalty. Today, we're diving into the telltale signs that could indicate your partner is cheating. We'll explore behavioral changes, emotional distance, and other red flags to help you gain clarity. Remember, these signs aren't definitive proof, but they can help you start an honest conversation. Let's begin by understanding why people cheat and what motivates such behavior. Eating can happen for many reasons. Sometimes it's about unmet emotional needs, while other times it's driven by opportunity or dissatisfaction. Understanding the root causes can help you approach the situation with empathy rather than anger. Some people cheat because they feel neglected, others because they crave excitement or validation. Recognizing these motivations is the first step in addressing the issue constructively. Now let's look at the first sign: sudden changes in communication. One of the earliest signs of infidelity is a noticeable shift in how your partner communicates. Maybe they're suddenly secretive with their phone, or they avoid deep conversations. You might notice they're less responsive to your messages or seem distracted when you talk. These changes can be subtle at first, but over time they become more apparent. If your partner used to share everything and now seems closed off, it's worth paying attention. Next, let's discuss emotional distance. Emotional distance can be a major red flag. If your partner suddenly seems less interested in your life, stops asking about your day, or avoids physical affection, it could be a sign they're emotionally invested elsewhere. You might feel like you're living with a stranger or that your connection has faded. This shift can be gradual, making it hard to pinpoint when things changed. Let's move on to changes in daily routines. Has your partner started coming home later than usual or making excuses for being away? Sudden changes in their daily routine, like working late more often or picking up new hobbies without involving you, can be suspicious. While everyone's schedule can change, consistent and unexplained absences may be cause for concern. Next, let's talk about increased secrecy. If your partner becomes more secretive, especially with their phone or computer, it could be a warning sign. Maybe they change their passwords, delete messages, or take calls in another room. This behavior is often an attempt to hide something. While privacy is important, sudden secrecy can indicate a breach of trust. Now, let's examine changes in appearance. Sudden interest in appearance can be a clue. If your partner starts dressing differently, wearing new cologne or perfume, or paying more attention to grooming, it might be for someone else. Of course, self-improvement is healthy, but drastic changes without explanation can be suspicious. Next, let's talk about unexplained expenses. Have you noticed strange charges on your partner's credit card or cash withdrawals that don't add up? Unexplained expenses can sometimes point to secret outings or gifts for someone else. If your partner is defensive when you ask about money, it's worth noting. Let's move on to changes in intimacy. A shift in your physical relationship can be telling. If your partner suddenly loses interest in intimacy or conversely becomes unusually affectionate, it could be a sign of guilt or distraction. Changes in intimacy often reflect deeper emotional issues. Next, let's discuss defensive behavior. If your partner reacts defensively to simple questions or accuses you of being paranoid, it might be a way to deflect suspicion. Defensive behavior can be a sign they're hiding something. Instead of open communication, they may shut down or become angry. Let's look at how technology use can change. Partner who suddenly guards their phone or computer, uses new apps, or spends more time online may be hiding something. Watch for deleted call logs, hidden messages, or secret social media accounts. While privacy is normal, drastic changes in tech habits can be a red flag. Next, let's talk about friends' behavior. Sometimes your partner's friends may act differently around you if they know something you don't. They might avoid eye contact, seem uncomfortable, or stop inviting you to group events. Friends often know about infidelity before you do, so changes in their behavior can be telling. Now, let's explore unexplained absences. If your partner frequently disappears without explanation or provides vague answers about their whereabouts, it's a cause for concern. Consistent unexplained absences can indicate they're spending time with someone else. Let's move on to changes in affection. A noticeable drop in affection, such as fewer hugs, kisses, or loving gestures, can signal trouble. If your partner pulls away physically and emotionally, it's important to address the change. Next, let's discuss overcompensation. Sometimes, a cheating partner may overcompensate by showering you with gifts or affection out of guilt. This sudden generosity can feel out of character. While it might seem positive, it's worth questioning if it's a drastic change from their usual behavior. Let's look at how they talk about the future. If your partner avoids making future plans or seems uninterested in discussing long-term goals, it could be a sign they're uncertain about the relationship. A lack of commitment to shared plans may indicate their attention is elsewhere. Next, let's talk about blaming you. A partner who is cheating may start blaming you for problems in the relationship. They might accuse you of being too controlling or not understanding them. This deflection can be a way to justify their actions. Let's move on to changes in social media behavior. Watch for changes in how your partner uses social media. They might hide posts, untag themselves from photos, or suddenly become more private online. These actions can be attempts to conceal their activities. Next, let's discuss gut feelings. Sometimes your intuition is your best guide. If you have a persistent feeling that something is off, don't ignore it. While gut feelings aren't evidence, they can prompt you to look deeper into the situation. Let's move on to changes in sexual behavior. A sudden change in your partner's sexual behavior, either more or less interest, can be a sign of infidelity. They may be distracted or trying to compensate for guilt. Pay attention to any drastic shifts. Next, let's discuss lying. If you catch your partner in lies, even small ones, it can be a warning sign. Dishonesty erodes trust and often points to bigger issues. If their stories don't add up, it's time to pay closer attention. Let's move on to defensive body language. Body language can reveal a lot. If your partner avoids eye contact, crosses their arms, or seems uncomfortable during conversations, it could indicate they're hiding something. Nonverbal cues are often more telling than words. Next, let's talk about lack of interest in your life. If your partner stops asking about your day or seems uninterested in your experiences, it may be a sign they're emotionally checked out. This lack of engagement can be hurtful and is often a red flag. Let's move on to sudden mood swings. Cheating can cause stress, leading to mood swings. If your partner is suddenly irritable, withdrawn, or overly cheerful, it might be a sign they're struggling with guilt or anxiety. Let's discuss changes in shared routines. If your partner stops participating in activities you used to enjoy together, it could be a sign of emotional withdrawal. Shared routines help build intimacy, so changes here are significant. Next, let's talk about avoiding family events. A partner who avoids family gatherings or important events may be distancing themselves emotionally. This avoidance can signal a lack of commitment or a desire to keep their lives separate. Let's move on to unexplained gifts. If your partner receives gifts or items you didn't give them, it's worth asking where they came from. Unexplained gifts can sometimes be from someone else. Next, let's discuss changes in work habits. Sudden changes in work habits like staying late or traveling more can be a cover for infidelity. While work demands fluctuate, consistent changes without clear reasons are suspicious. Let's talk about less communication. If your partner stops sharing details about their day or avoids conversations, it can be a sign of emotional distance. Communication is key in any relationship, so a sudden drop is concerning. Next, let's discuss avoiding eye contact. Avoiding eye contact during conversations can indicate guilt or discomfort. If your partner suddenly finds it hard to look you in the eye, it's worth nodding. Let's move on to changes in spending habits. Unusual spending like frequent cash withdrawals or unexplained purchases can be a sign of secret activities. If your partner is evasive about finances, it's time to pay attention. Next, let's discuss changes in phone habits. A partner who suddenly keeps their phone on silent, turns it face down, or takes it everywhere may be hiding something. These changes in phone habits can be subtle but significant. Let's move on to changes in language. If your partner starts using new phrases or slang, it could be influenced by someone else. Pay attention to changes in how they speak or the topics they bring up. Next, let's talk about avoiding confrontation. A partner who avoids discussing issues or shuts down during arguments may be hiding something. Avoidance can be a way to prevent their secret from coming out. Let's move on to changes in priorities. If your partner's priorities shift suddenly, such as spending less time with you or focusing on new interests, it could be a sign of infidelity. Pay attention to what matters most to them now. Next, let's discuss lack of jealousy. If your partner suddenly seems indifferent to your interactions with others, it might be because their attention is elsewhere. A lack of jealousy when it's out of character can be a red flag. Let's move on to emotional withdrawal. Emotional withdrawal is when your partner stops sharing feelings or supporting you. If they seem distant or uninterested in your problems, it's a sign of disconnection. Let's talk about changes in sleep patterns. If your partner starts staying up late, sleeping at odd hours, or seems restless at night, it could be related to stress or secretive behavior. Changes in sleep can reflect emotional turmoil. Next, let's discuss lack of accountability. A partner who refuses to explain their actions or avoids responsibility may be hiding something. Accountability is key in a healthy relationship. Let's move on to changes in shared finances. If your partner suddenly wants to separate finances or becomes secretive about money, it could be a sign of infidelity. Financial transparency is important in relationships. Next, let's discuss changes in personal hygiene. A sudden focus on personal hygiene, like new grooming routines or fragrances, can be a sign your partner is trying to impress someone else. Notice if these changes are out of character. Let's move on to less time together. If your partner spends less time with you and more time away, it could be a sign of emotional or physical distance. Quality time is essential for connection. Next, let's talk about making excuses. A partner who constantly makes excuses for their behavior or whereabouts may be hiding something. If their explanations don't add up, it's a red flag. Let's move on to the importance of open communication. Open and honest communication is the foundation of any healthy relationship. If you notice several of these signs, it's important to talk openly with your partner. Approach the conversation with empathy and a desire to understand rather than accuse. Let's wrap up with a summary. Recognizing the signs of infidelity can be painful, but it's the first step toward clarity and healing. Remember, these signs are not definitive proof, but they can help you start an honest conversation. Trust your instincts, communicate openly, and seek support if needed. Every relationship is unique, and only you can decide what's best for you. Thank you for watching, and take care of yourself as you navigate these challenging emotions.